What's happening in and around Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, and in Pennsylvania?
That's right, Dan. Earlier this morning, we told you about a plane crash near Pittsburgh, just north of the Somerset County Airport. Another plane that was hijacked today was United Flight 93, which was traveling from Newark, New Jersey to San Francisco. United Airlines has just confirmed that flight is the one that crashed outside of Pittsburgh this morning. As of this moment, we don't know how many folks were on board, don't have any idea of casualties or fatalities. We'll get that for you in just a bit. But again, United Airlines has confirmed that yet another plane that was hijacked this morning has crashed, this one just outside of Pittsburgh near the Somerset County.
Right. I said that in Pittsburgh.
Okay, right,
yeah.
From Newark en route to San Francisco,
right.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Ron Insana is here. Oh, actually, we're going to go first
just
to
before
Ashley
that, we're going to go downtown again. Ron Insana. Oh, no, okay, we're going to... There we go. Ashley Banfield
we're
has
giving out
someone she's
emergency
talking
numbers
to.
over the airways. No, I know, but we're doing that now.
Yes, that's the only thing.
I just wanted to ask
Ashley, can you hear me?
For emergency personnel, either law enforcement or medical.
Do you know anything about those extra explosions we heard?
No, I do not.
Were they car bombs?
I have no idea, ma'am.
Are you being told that we're going to have to move out of this area as well?
I was not told anything relative to that.
What about the sewers? Are they looking for bombs in sewers?
All non-essential personnel. That's all I can tell you.
Okay,
Thank you,
obviously, the emergency workers are moving people out of that area. Ron Insana is here with us.
Newark to New Jersey bound for SFO.
An Airbus 320 flight number 93. And another United plane is missing. Here's Peter Jennings again.
Military personnel were put on what's called alert level Delta, which is the highest possible alert status, and military personnel throughout the country were put on Charlie threat level. For people who follow those things, we say them often without knowing what they mean, but they're both pretty high states of alert. There was extra security put in place at the Department of Energy's nuclear weapon.
We're going to get your mic on because you've got important information there.
As you can see in Mexico, and among the other places in Frederick, Maryland. Some sense of the magnitude. We're looking
110 stories tall. While we do know that some people were able to get down
in the areas where those planes came down.
Judy, let me just ask you, the flight that United Airlines says it is, quote,
Some updated news here. United Airlines Flight 93, that's a Boeing 757. It was en route to San Francisco. It crashed 80 miles southeast of Pittsburgh about 10 a.m. United Airlines, right. United Airlines is very concerned at this point about Flight 175. That's a Boeing 67 from Boston to Los Angeles. That Boston to Los Angeles flight path, this is the second plane.
Some information. They are trying to keep track of people. We wish you the best. I do not want to keep Mr. Iola on the phone when he does not know where his family is. You can call.
I just come out.
good guest flight.
Went crazy, made.
radical Islamic Jihad movement, saying the attacks are a consequence of United States policy in the Middle East. And again, this is a wire report. We have not been able to confirm it, but we are simply at this point passing along to you as much information as we have.
Accurate and some won't.
The Associated Press out of Cleveland is quoting Mayor Michael White of Cleveland as saying a Boeing 767 out of Boston has made an emergency landing at Cleveland Hopkins International Airport because of concerns it may have a bomb aboard. That according to the Associated Press, quoting Mayor Michael White of Cleveland. We will continue to follow that part of the story for you.
We'll see smoke coming
not only from to our left down the hallways, but also to our right, and smoke's still pretty thick. So this fire at the Pentagon still out of control, and literally, when you remember the pictures of the Oklahoma City bombing with the Murrah building completely sort of burrowed out like a sort of like a horseshoe, that's what it looks like for a part of the Pentagon, where literally there's a huge, maybe 100 feet hole, and you can actually see the offices carved out like a giant U in the side of the Pentagon. The Pentagon, of course, there's concentric rings where all the walls are connected, and now suddenly there's this giant hole and a fire that clearly has spread to some of the inner rings of the Pentagon. The Pentagon was evacuated at about 10 o'clock this morning. Some 23,000 employees cleared out. The reason that the fire uncontrolled might still be a problem is that the people who remain in the Pentagon, aside from a couple journalists here, includes officials at the National Military Command Center. They have a bunker in the basement of the Pentagon in the center of the building. Those are the officials that would coordinate military.
And that is where this has been one of the most brutal and treacherous acts in our history. We'll spend an awful lot of time the next few days measuring the extent of the damage in lives and function, and then we'll really be troubled when we try finding the source of this act, who the enemy is, and how we defend ourselves. And we discover it's not a nation, apparently, that we can oppose. It's some force that's hard to locate and even more difficult to understand. And since we can't understand it, it gets more difficult to protect against. We will be, as we all are now, very angry for a long time, and we will insist on finding the perpetrators and having them punished, as we did when they attacked the World Trade Center the first time.
Everyone joining us by phone, former New York Governor Mario Cuomo. Sir.
In effect, 2 hijacked planes that were crashed today, killing, as I said, 156 people on those planes. They haven't said anything else about, if they had any early indications of this, but presumably, as you pointed out, these planes were definitely, diverted quickly, and so American would have found that out rather soon, I think, earlier this morning, and knew that something terrible was in the works.
All right, Jim Cummins, and if in fact controllers knew something was going on, the only thing they can really do is steer other planes out of the area. If they don't have contact with the plane, if it's left its flight path, all they can do is clear other airplanes out of the area, as we watch once again one of those American planes plunging directly into the World Trade Center. Greg, Chris?
And of course, subsequently, both of the towers at the World Trade Center collapsed. Teresa Ward, who is on the phone with us now, was in the second building, the second tower, when the first one collapsed. Thank you for being with us at this difficult time. Tell us where you were, what you saw and heard. Can you hear us, Teresa Ward? We seem to...
on hold for Peter has me on hold for CNBC.
Hi, Teresa?
Yes, hi.
Hi, this is Chris Jansing at MSNBC. I understand that you were in the second building when the first one collapsed, is that right?
I was in the second building when the plane hit One World Trade.
What can you tell us about what you saw and heard?
Well, I was at my desk, just, starting my day, and we felt a shudder. The entire building sort of shuddered. And at first we didn't really think, we sort of didn't know what happened, and we looked out the window and there was just debris and papers like a ticker tape parade falling from the sky. And immediately we just everybody calmly walked down the stairs, and a lot of people who had already been part of the original bombing were there with us, and we all calmly started exiting the building. And then we heard an announcement that there was an incident in one World Trade Center, but 2 World Trade Center was fine, so we could return to our offices. So we then took the elevator down, and clearly there was just burning debris coming down, showering on us, and we had to run for cover. And then they rushed us back into the concourse, and we were able to exit the other way. And by the time I got up to Houston Street, I turned around and you could see that 2 World Trade Center was just a cloud of smoke.
So you had been told to go back to your offices, but you made the decision to leave the building?
Yeah.
Obviously,
at that point, though, there was only an incident in 1 World Trade Center, and no one really knew what the incident was. And
And you mentioned that you were with people who were there during the other attack, which you're talking about the 1993 bombing. Right. What was the conversation? What were people saying? What were they doing as you were getting out of the building?
You know, we were just calmly walking down the stairs thinking, you know, what the heck happened? You know, somebody said a plane hit the building. Another person said a bomb. We really had no clue what was happening. So everybody was relatively calm, having been through the experience of the first one, and there wasn't any smoke in the stairwells this time or anything like that. So the mood was very calm, and we were able to get out.
And you couldn't see. And again, we thought we were finished. We somehow got to the light. Another firefighter gave me his mask for a moment so I could breathe. And then I made my way somehow through the smoke into the light to our crews. There was a cameraman there whose head was bloody and he was trying to shoot